Expect that this video is gonna maybe hit that 100 view count because it's gonna piss off TikTok's algorithm, but I highly recommend you watch this to the end because it's gonna have some very valid points. If the sale of TikTok actually happens in March and it becomes this nationally restricted app called M, you're not gonna find me on it. Like, this follows the World War II playbook and content restriction. If they would have had apps back then, you would have seen this exact thing happen. I'm not going to participate in this. MAGA, if you're still with me at this point, I highly recommend that you do the same too, because you absolutely will be controlled by this, whether you want to believe it or not. This is extremely bad. What does M actually stand for? Does it stand for Meta, whose servers we've already been using quite unfortunately, and the app just stopped working correctly once that happened? Does M stand for MAGA, whose king wants to literally install a backdoor in a nationalist app to suck everything about your lives and your being and your data just completely out that back door, so they know everything about you, can control everything about you, and use anything they want against you? Or does M stand for the muskrat, the MAGA's supposed king's baby daddy, who just recently, supposedly, got so bent out of shape that he's trying, and, well, not even trying, he went and is creating his own little baby in the form of a new political party named after a country who he cannot vote in or serve office in, to rival that which he's been supporting for how long now that he got in office? Yeah, I mean, this whole feud between those two doesn't make any sense. And that, one, it's literally only arising when something major and atrocious happens to the populace of this land, and they don't want you to focus on that. And two, back to this whole M thing, that really follows Muskrat fashion. You know how he named his newly acquired app One Letter? Yeah. This is going to be a newly acquired app with one letter that just so happens to be the first letter of his name. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me. Now, I will start more faithfully downloading and uploading my content to YouTube, which I have already been doing, just nowhere near like what I should be doing for dealing with an app that is so highly troubled. But even that I have concerns with, because I have had my primary Google account that I've been locked out of for about 3 years and had to create a new one because they wouldn't let me in my Google account. It upset me because some of my animations are on that account, and I filed an Attorney General report because their VPN had me in this cyclical circle that just had me locked out because they wouldn't let me use my email when I no longer have the phone number tied to that account, and I couldn't update it. So now they've decided to let me use my email as a VPN about 3 years after this battle started, but they want 30 days now after the confirmation of the email in order to let me back into my account. Now, most reputable businesses would be able to accomplish this within 24 to 48 hours, sometimes a week. They want 30 days at Google. Now, what that tells me is that they're going to go into my account, they're going to adjust it to be what they want it to be, they're going to view my content, make sure that there's nothing that they don't want on there, such as my Trump animation that I did in like 2008, I think it was. That's on this account too, by the way. Yeah. That's what that tells me, because who needs 30 days to just let somebody back in their account? Like, seriously? You get locked out of your email, you call your internet provider, you're back in your email on that phone call. That doesn't make any sense. So I have trust issues with Google as well. I kind of suspect that they may be silently going the way of TikTok, but just not telling you. If that's the case, you're going to find me using a VPN or a torrent of some sort and back to the Chinese version of things, which realistically, it might not be a bad idea just to do that anyway. I mean, seriously. And MAGA, again, if you're still with me, if you want to try to point fingers to the security of this app or how that's a horrible idea to give China my data and yada, 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 especially if I don't want a nationalist app to have it, You need to sit here and think about the fact that you're using a currently Chinese-based app that you have been using for years now. So if it was that much of a security risk, you wouldn't have been on it in the first place. The actual security risk comes from nationalist only. That's where the problem is. You shouldn't ever have to restrict somebody's access to content from other countries. That's asinine. That shouldn't be happening. That's the security risk. So, this app made it to the top of the social media chain in the United States while under Chinese control. And if you're that concerned about data collection, as we know, why have Chinese spy balloons been allowed to circle our skies for years now prior to Biden bringing one down? Biden brought one down, not your king. Biden. Seriously, if they want your data, they're going to get their data. It doesn't matter if it's through the app, through a spy balloon, through a phone, through a social media account. It does not matter how they do it. They get your data. They sell the data to somebody who wants it. And if you think for 1 second your king, who sells everything right down to a U.S. citizenship, isn't going to sell your data that he's siphoning out of the back of an app, you're wrong. This is a profiteer move and a control move by him. But you can't even throw China under the bus because you've been using this app for years. I'm not going along with it at all. So, again, if you truly wish to follow me, you can find me, same name, on my new account with Google. I'm going to start getting my content more available up there. But again, if I see what they're doing is in line with this stupid M stuff, which I highly suspect it very well might be given this current play by Google, yeah, I'm just going to download a VPN and torrent. And you'll still see me here, but you're going to see me trying to brush up on my Chinese.